With that, we're going to bring up Matt Sherlock. A lot of the videos that, as he's coming up here, that Jason had, and then we'll have some videos as well today. We will actually send those out to the membership too, so you can view them at different times. So, Mr. Sherlock.
Good morning, everybody. All right. First of all, good morning, PGA members, associates, and guests. It is with honor that I welcome everyone to our 2020 Fall Membership Meeting. My name is Matt Sherlock, President of the Iowa PGA and head golf professional at Edmondson, Harvest Point, and Boss Landon golf courses. Thank you, and it says please be seated. So I guess you have to stand up and then sit down. Before I officially call this meeting to order, I would like to thank our host, Riverside Casino and Golf Resort, for hosting us these 2 days. The Iowa PGA is very grateful for calling this location our home for the past 14 years. I would like to officially call our meeting to order at this time. Roll call will be taken by registration out in the gathering space. Please make sure to register if you've not already done so. For those listening via phone, please email Tess Gowdy at tgowdy@pgahq.com that you are listening. At this point, I would like to recognize our past presidents that are with us today. When I call your name, if they could each stand and be recognized. Our past presidents continue to help our association each year, and I would like to personally thank them for supporting me during my tenure. Please hold your applause or boos until all names are finished. Past presidents joining us today, Mr. Jeff Smith from 2003 to 2005. Ken Schall from 2005 to 2007. Steve Hutton, online, 2007 to 2009. Mr. Greg Mason from 2009 to 2011. Mr. John Valier from 2015 to 2017. And also joining us online, Mr. Aaron Kruger from 2017 to 2019. So thank you, everyone. And thank you, past presidents. I would like to observe a moment of silence to recognize 2 of our presidents that passed away this summer, Ed Schuman and Mr. Jerry Johnson. Please join me in a moment of silence. Always in the PGA family. I would also like to introduce our Iowa PGA Board of Directors, Mr. Mike Arms from Pinnacle Country Club, Mr. Gene Beers Jr. from Ankeny Golf and Country Club, Sarah Bidney from Wakanda Club, Brian Bierman from Elmcrest Country Club, David Crawley from Muscatine Municipal Golf Course, Kevin Dorrington from Harris Yamaha Golf Cars, J.R. Millar from Lake Bracken Country Club, Honorary President Aaron Kruger from Wakanda Club, Secretary of the Board Steve Watt from Glen Oaks Country Club, and Vice President Aaron Strick from Pinnacle Country Club. I would also like at this time to introduce our PGA staff, our Executive Director, Mr. Greg Mason, Assistant Executive Director and Junior Golf Director, Tess Gowdy, Casey Harvey, Tournament Manager, Director of Player and Membership Development, Mr. Mike Downing, Junior Golf Coordinator, Jazz Tolda, and Communications Coordinator, Stephanie Mason. We have placed a copy of the minutes from our 2019 Fall Membership Meeting online on the TIP or Tournament Information page. Do I have a motion for approval of these minutes? Motion made. Is there a second? Second. Are there any adds or deletions or changes? Okay. All in favor say aye. All opposed say no. Motion passes. All right. At this time, I would like to thank Dave Schneider for his years of service on the PGA Board of Directors. Dave served for 112 consecutive years. No, I'm kidding. It just kind of seemed like that. I would like to call up his replacement, Greg Newyear, PGA Director of Golf at Champions Run in Omaha, Nebraska, to give his District 8 report. Greg was sworn in on Thursday, October 29, and will serve 3 years on the PGA National Board of Directors. Greg is a past president of the Nebraska PGA and was the Nebraska Golf Professional of the Year in 2012. Please welcome Greg to the Iowa section.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Thanks to the officers for making me feel welcome over the last year. It's been great to get to know you, and ready to move forward. Just a couple things, like Matt said, I'm at Champions Run. We're a private for-profit facility. We have 6 PGA professionals at my facility. My wife is also a PGA member. She's currently the vice president of the section for Nebraska. And I do have 2 associates that are going through the program. So fortunately, my owner at my facility loves the PGA professional. We also have a couple other facilities, a 9-hole executive and a 27-hole public. So a lot of PGA stuff going on there. So we greatly appreciate my owner and what she does for the PGA professional. Hey, it's Masters Week. Pretty cool, right? So I remember 30 years in the business, Masters Week was always like, hey, here comes the season, right? Juices are flowing. So now we get to kind of watch golf a little bit more maybe and watch football. So pretty cool. So tune in this week. I would like to thank Dave Schneider also. I followed him for the last year, and he has truly been a great leader in the boardroom. I've just seen his actions and how he has spoken up as a shadow, how he has spoken up in the boardroom and represented our district so well. You know, I know he ran for election. Obviously, you know that too, and to see him go through that process and put himself out there, truly amazing. His knowledge of the PGA and just what to go through to run for office. I know Greg Mason was heavily involved in the process too, but just to be a fly on the wall and watch that go down was pretty interesting and rewarding. So I know it was close for him, and whether he does it again or not, I know that I'm sure he's having FOMO, fear of missing out on what's going on here, but I'm sure he'll be involved somewhere down the road. So before I get into my report, my mindset kind of going into this, so a year ago I was thinking about doing this, and I talked to, I think, every officer in our district, our new officers. I've been kind of out of the loop for the last 4 or 5 years. I talked to Jeff Smith, Jeff Porter, Chris Thompson, Dave Schneider, obviously, Jeff Drimmel, people that have done this before, and so you have to be ready to commit to this, you know, whether it's your family time or your work time. So I felt I was in a good position to do it. I plan to, my mindset going into it, I want to represent you to the best of my ability, be a voice in the boardroom. You know, listen to what you need, learn from what you want, and represent. So I'm looking forward to getting started. So, all right, my report here. Just a couple things that I felt you might find interesting in what's going on at a national level. So, what a season with COVID, right? So I remember sitting back at the merchandise show in January in Orlando. We rent a house with my staff, and we're on the pool deck having a few beverages, thinking that, wow, we have our year planned, our merchandise plan is ready to go, can't wait for the season to get started. We get back, our biggest concern at that time was how are we going to educate our members on the handicap program, the handicap system. I don't know if you all remember, that was a big deal back then. So March 13th hit, and obviously our world changes, so we have to pivot. So on a national level, the board had to do the same thing. So our board and officers have worked really hard to protect the association. The Golf Emergency Relief Fund, $8 million to about 3,300 people in the golf industry. The Back to Golf document that they created, the dues, pushing the dues back for members, ADP funding pivot, Ryder Cup postpone, PGA Championship, they were able to pull that off, Kerry Haig and his team. So all those things were going on, you know, March, April, and May, and that was really what we were working on. So incredible job by what they did, along with your staff here and what Greg Mason did to keep the year going. So job well done. So employment, we had a great presentation by Jason. So I think the number one benefit that we get as PGA members is our employment, our career consultants. And so obviously Jason said that we've had some turnover here with JD getting the job in Minnesota as the ED. And then we kind of had to pivot to where Keith Soriano helped out Nebraska, Jason helped out Minnesota, and Iowa, and so a lot of changes there, and I know that put a lot of work on the ED's plate too, so we appreciate what they did. So like Jason said, the position's been posted, so for Wisconsin, Minnesota, Nebraska, and Iowa sections, so depending on who they hire, they will adjust kind of how that's going to work and how it's going to flow. I talked to Scott Kimmick, who is kind of in charge of this whole process. They had 16 applicants, and they had their first round interviews this last week. Their second round is going to be done prior to Thanksgiving, and so the goal is to have someone in place by December 14th. And talking with Matt last night on the board call, that's a big priority. That's a very important person, and I know Jason will help with that transition as we go forward. So almost 5,000 jobs were posted this year. Executive search, which Jason talked about, they had 41 searches. So good thing to hear, we are gaining a seat at those big jobs, which is great to hear. I know he had mentioned GBN. I know back in the day, I went to the PGA show and I thought, you know, I need to be in GBN. I sat in a room like this, a bunch of East Coast guys and gals, had no idea what I was doing, why I was there. And I'm thinking to myself, why isn't the PGA doing this? And now we are. And we are competitive. We are making inroads. And so it's great to see that. There is a study coming out called the Global Golf Advisor Study. And what this is going to be sent out to 300 pre-selected employers. And it's a survey, it's a study. They're going to ask them questions so that going down in the future for our education program and for job placement, we're trying to get information from them as what should we be doing from an education standpoint, and how can we prepare our golf professionals for these jobs. So that, I believe, is going out this week. I just saw something on my email about it, so I haven't looked into it or what kind of questions they're asking, but that should be a pretty neat tool to use in the future. So education. So the last 3 or 4 months, we've kind of dove into the weeds on education, and this all got started, I believe, if you want to get into talking about numbers, and there's 2 pathways to get to membership, basically. It's the PGM program and it's the associates program. So over the years, our numbers are kind of going the wrong direction. So right now we've got about 1,500 PGM students. The all-time high was about 2,500. Back in 2000, we had 6,200 associates. Now we're at about 3,500. So that potentially could be an issue. You know, we're all trying to hire staff. We're all trying to hire good staff. We have more people retiring. So what do we need to look at? So Jason had mentioned recruitment, which is a big part of that process, and where he's recruiting at and what they're doing. But there's also the education side of it, and that path. And so how are we getting people into the program? And do we need to open the funnel up a little bit wider at the top? So the staff and the committees, education committee, the membership committee, the employment committee, all were given the task of, let's look at how people get into the education program. So should it be less time? I think the average time it takes for someone to be a member is like 4.5 years. Should it be less cost? I think it's just over $7,000 to get your membership. Fewer barriers to get in. Should you be working? Should you be employed to start the program? Things like that. You know, virtual. Should we be more virtual? So all this is being looked at over the last 3 or 4 months. A lot of conversation. There were things that were agreed on. There were things that weren't agreed on. So I think Susie and her team, or Susie and the officers, they were trying to get some things accomplished. I think we pretty much ran out of time with her being done, and with Mr. Richardson coming on now. So we're going to have new committee chairs. So they kind of pushed the reset, the pause button, I guess, on this whole deal. I know that our PGM programs, you know, their numbers are not going the right direction, so what are we going to do to help them be successful? So right now, the PGA 3.0 program is still in place, and it's going to remain in place for the foreseeable future. The final design for maybe 4.0 is a couple years away, and so we're going to be working on that hard this winter. everything's pretty much virtual right now, so it's going to continue probably through the end of 2022 for all levels of the 3.0 program. So for example, I have 2 associates going through that. I said, hey, now's the time to get into the program, do it, and do your books, and it's all virtual right now. So we'll see what happens as we go down the road with education on that. Member benefits, tools that can help you. So I know Greg Mason's going to talk about Supreme Golf. This is a great tool, a brand new tool for tee time management, filling your tee sheets. And it was a group of people that the membership was asking the staff, hey, we need this. We need something that'll work for us. And this is how we want it to be ran. So they go to Supreme Golf, say, hey, this is what is important to our membership. Please create this for us, and we want to partner with you and make it work. So like I said, Greg will talk about that here in a little bit, but teatimes.pga.com, it's a great way to go to and get educated on Supreme Golf. Perk Spot's another great tool. I think there's 10,000 members signed up for that, great for holiday shopping. Golf Retirement Plus has been around for a while, so $180 million in that fund. That's another great tool. The Disaster Relief Fund, there's over 7,000 members that contribute to that when you pay your dues. The Golf Emergency Relief Fund that we talked about, PGA.org, we now own that website, so a lot of great things on that. 5 things to know, which I'm sure you get emails on. They're trying to limit their emails, not to have too much, not to bombard you, but there's almost a 40% open rate on that email, which is great because people are reading it. So, and then the support link. I don't know if many of you know about support link. It's more of somewhere you can go and call. It's totally confidential for mental help and just asking questions if you're struggling. So it's a brand new tool also. So health insurance, it appears often that one door opens and another one closes. So that's an animal that they've been trying to work with. I know Seth Waugh's really trying to get that going. Deferred comp is another tool they're working on. I know Seth is working on that also. Right now it's in the hands of the IRS of how that would work, so we don't have problems with annulment. It probably will, we won't know anything probably till the first quarter of next year, and then if everything gets approved, it would be a matter of trying to find the right vehicle to get the right money to fund this program. That'll be the next challenge, and Seth has some great ideas for that, so hopefully that will be coming down soon here in the next year. PGA Coach, which was talked about. I'll talk about the Teaching and Coaching Summit here in a little bit, and then hopefully most of you saw that the membership survey went out, and this is a great way to voice your opinion on what you want to see for the PGA and what you want the association to do. So it does take about 20 minutes to fill out, but please do that. So they will use that information to guide where we go in the future. Properties updates. So I'm going to read this so you can see the dates of what's going to happen. The Frisco golf courses continue to be shaped and grassed under the direction of Gil Hans and should be done by the end of the year. The golf courses will use 2021 as a grow-in year and then open to the public in August of 2022. The Omni Hotel and Clubhouse and all the retail will open in the spring of 23. Ground was broken for our headquarters in September with a completion date set for spring of 2022. The first golf major is planned for May of 2023, which is going to be the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be the Silicon Valley of golf in America. So hopefully you get down there and to see this project. The other properties that we have, Valhalla, which we own, they are going to host the 2024 PGA Championship. They are going to be going through a capital program. They have, not to get into the details, but they have bent grass fairways down there and they are suffering, so they're going to resod to zoysia the entire golf course. Bunker project, tee project. And so kind of a 5-year plan, about $5.5 million. So that is on the table. They're working on that. They thought they could wait till after the PGA Championship, but they felt like they wanted to get it done before that. Sooner than later. Port St. Lucie, I don't know if anybody's been down there in the last couple of years. it's really come along a lot with the golf course, the condition. We did sell the learning center area, so we took that money and moved it into updating the practice areas at Port St. Lucie. So that's been open here, I think, for a month. Phase 1 and Phase 2 will do some short game areas and the north end of the tee. So they just hired a new superintendent there also, a gentleman from the Carolinas. So a lot of good things happening at Port St. Lucie. Hopefully you get down there this winter to see what's going on. And then Frisco, obviously, the two courses, we're not in an ownership position on those. We're going to manage those. So, but they plan on, they're rough grading the short course right now, and then they plan on doing the range here in the spring. So things are moving along on schedule there. Finances. The association worked hard to protect the finances as COVID took its toll on the 2020 schedule. The staff looked at 3 areas to help offset the $20 million 4-cycle swing to the bad. By using staff savings, so hiring freezes, no merit increases, reallocating staff positions, championships, and new revenue opportunities with sponsors. These savings did not affect PGA member programming, so nothing was taken out of that. Cash flow will probably be affected with the postponement of the Ryder Cup, but it felt like with no fans, that was a game changer not to do the Ryder Cup this year. But being able to have the PGA Championship and the Women's PGA Championship was a highlight, and obviously Carrie Haig did a great job with that. Lastly, I talked about the Teaching Summit. That's going to be virtual, so the Teaching Summit will be held on January 25th, starting at 9 a.m. and will run for 6 straight hours completely online. So the theme this year is Adjusting Your Compass, so please check that out if you're an instructor, just want to learn about teaching and get better with your teaching. And also the PGA Merchandise Show will be virtual this year. So I would say in the next month they will come out with, I'm not sure how they're going to do that. That's a big animal, obviously. But they are going to come out with that here in the next month and how that's going to work. So that's all I really had. Thanks for your time today. I look forward to being back here in the spring. And looking forward to carrying your voice onto the national board and being someone in the board to stick up for you. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Greg. Always a lot going on at PGA National. We have another voice in the boardroom, so thank you very much. We know you're going to do a great job. At this time, I would like to welcome Frank Keppa, our Regional League Manager for PGA Junior League. Frank was unable to attend today's meeting. He has supplied a 4-minute video for us to watch.
Good morning to all, and thanks so much for being here in this virtual forum. 2020 has been, needless to say, an extremely interesting and unique year. You, your staff, and each and every person you've come in contact this year should be applauded for persevering during these times. A special thanks to Greg Mason, Tess Gowdy, Mike Downing, and the Iowa PGA for allowing me to present this report and again let you know of my commitment as well as our department's commitment to help you create value for yourself and your facility through a thorough understanding of each of your facilities and your drive to success in player development. Certainly this year, our courses have experienced a huge surge in play. But the question becomes, are you positioned to sustain those numbers by keeping your customers engaged once we return to non-pandemic normalcy? The planning for that starts today. A few of the tools we have that can increase engagement and value are PGA Junior League, PGA Family Cup, and PGA.Coach. Despite a very tough start, PGA Junior League had an amazing year with over 36,000 kids participating. While that number was roughly 35% down from 2019 nationally, here in Iowa, over 410 kids participated, which only was a drop of 6%. With that, many of you saw an increase in not only the amount of kids, but also the fees you were able to generate from registration and incremental revenue. In addition, 28% of all PGA facilities here in Iowa hosted Junior League, which is above the national average. A special shout out goes to Brian Johnson at Elmcrest Country Club in Cedar Rapids with 79 kids registered. Not only did that lead the section in numbers, but it placed them fourth in the northern Midwest states. As an additional confirmation, in July, a survey was sent out to parents of all 2019 and 2020 players of Junior League. With a response rate of over 7,000 parents, 91% stated they were either comfortable or very comfortable with the return to PGA Junior League games or practices. This pulse check shows the value that Junior League provides in a responsible and safe environment. Be on the look as the 2021 facility registration will be opening in the coming weeks. In 2020, a pilot program for PGA Family Cup was hosted in 12 markets, with the closest being Illinois. It was a great success, and this year will be expanded to include all 41 sections and all PGA members. Different than a parent-child tournament, this 9-hole event utilizes Junior League rules and is social in nature. The simple key is to get the families to the course, engage them in a fun atmosphere, and then wow them during the day. I look forward to sharing success stories with all of you. Finally, PGA.Coach is bringing ADM, the American Development Model, to golf. Currently, over 3,000 PGA professionals have completed the video training, 39 of you here in Iowa. This provides a chance to have age and stage appropriate programming, access to lesson builder tools, and access to coaching tools and profiles through PGA.com. If you are looking to grow your brand and build your customer database, this is a wonderful opportunity to be highlighted on PGA.com, the consumer-facing website. Even better, it's free to register. If this is something you have interest in, do not hesitate to reach out to either myself or Mike Downing here in the section office. Please have a safe, healthy, and wonderful off-season. I can't wait to get together with all of you very soon.
And then also, Mr. Jason Bowes, our PGA of America career consultant. Thanks for this morning's presentation. Jason has been a great resource for our membership this past several months. And if you didn't catch it earlier, Jason has accepted the PGA career consultant job position in the Southwest section and will be leaving this January. Thank you, Jason, for the service that you gave us, and truly appreciate it. Thank you very much. We're going to move into a couple committee reports at this time. I would like to call to the microphone Vice President Aaron Strick to review the section's financials.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone who came out today. Much appreciated. This probably won't be the first time or the last time you hear this, but I'm going to start the financial report by saying thank you to Greg Mason and the section staff for all of their hard work in 2020. As you can imagine, the trying times of trying to deal with a loss of revenue and still trying to keep your expenses in check. So again, thank you for your leadership. I'll start with just kind of where we're at for our 5 main revenue sources. The PGA again gave us our ADP funding of $184,000. Thank you to them. The Iowa Golf Pass, generated $112,000. Another great year for Tess in junior golf. Thank God for golf, because it really drove all of us, I should say, throughout the summer, and it gave kids an outlet as well. So congratulations to Tess for generating $120,000. Membership dues was $60,000. And revenue from the John Deere Classic and the Principal Charity Classic was right around $30,000 to $35,000. We are in a very good spot. We go to these annual meetings every year, and it is an honor to be in a section that continues to be successful financially. Year after year, we always say how good our investments are, and again, 2020 was no different. So you will be happy to know that we are very secure and very safe, and hopefully we will get out of 2020 and move into 2021 successfully. So again, thank you to Greg and Tess and the staff for really your leadership and getting us through. So thank you.
this microphone back up. I won't, where? We keep the air down to keep everybody awake in here, so no naps. Aaron, great job. Thank you very much. Would like to call Secretary Steve Watt for a report on governance and memberships.
All right. Thanks for coming, everybody. I don't know about you guys, I'm tired of Zoom calls and all that, but it's our new reality. Going to go over some basics, keep it short and sweet. So, does it look different? Oh, okay. I don't know anything about PGA Junior League. Just kidding. You guys should do Junior League, by the way. It's great. We do it. Okay, so there we are, 208 members. 97% of us are employed. That's awesome. So keep up the good work. Just like Jason was talking about, make sure you're quantifying yourselves and providing value and showing your value. It's always important. We can always, all of us, do a better job with that for sure. MSRs. I know it's been a crazy year. Everyone's super busy. We all are. We're all in the same boat, but looks like we got 41% already achieved those numbers. That's fantastic. Good work. As we're coming into winter, good time to hit those videos, hit those educations, online, teaching, coaching. Some it's going to be virtual. No reason probably you can't get just about everyone here to do that. So that'd be fantastic. Little recognition for some half-century members. So congratulations to those fine gentlemen. Quarter-century members as well. We got a lot of them, yeah. Holy cow. Okay. Got some new members, which is great. We always like to see that as we're struggling to find new folks down the road. So got, looks like four new members in 2020. And certified, some PGA members being certified. 6 individuals did that. Again, with winter coming up, hopefully some slower time, more time for y'all to focus on yourselves. Put you first in the winter. Get some of these things done. It's fantastic. And guys, really looking forward to, I didn't really get a full chance at the meeting with Dave and the annual meeting and with everything going on with COVID and pandemics and all that, but do look forward to seeing those processes through and really diving into more of the details here this winter as well, just like I mentioned you guys, and taking advantage of the winter time and a little free time. So thank you, and looking forward to the next several years.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. Great work, good report. Congratulations to the half-century and quarter-century members. That's a really neat honor, so congratulations. At this time, I should make another note. Tons of committees on the board. We obviously have more committees, but those reports we will email out. Less touch points and to keep our meeting moving at an efficient level, so we will email out other committee reports from the rest of the board. At this time, I would like to call up our Executive Director, Greg Mason, to give his Executive Director report. Mr. Mason?
Aaron, I'll drop this down a little bit too. Again, thanks everybody. We'll kind of touch on a couple quick things here. A lot of people have been asking about the Las Vegas Pro-Am. We are intending to have the Las Vegas Pro-Am. In the past 30 days, I believe it was either 3 or 4 other sections throughout the country actually did do a Vegas successfully out there. In talking to the people out there, I think they're really looking for some business, and so we're going to try to make sure we get that handled. I know a few of you have asked Casey about that, so start getting your teams ready. We'll hopefully get that information out to you here in the next week or so. So again, keep that in mind as you're going through that. So just a couple, did you know, Iowa Open, again, Brian Haas and his team here at Riverside have been absolute great hosts for us the last few years, and I don't know if Brian's in the room or not, but we really appreciate what they do for us here. We're going to have that again. Last year we didn't have the Waterloo Open other than for the amateurs, and so we kind of go Waterloo Open, Cedar Rapids Open, and the Iowa Open, so we get some pretty good turnout, and we're usually about right around 140, 144 players in our events, and it's still about the same number of Iowa PGA professionals that that do play in that, anywhere from about 20 to 35, and that really honestly hasn't changed much over the last probably 15 years. Wish we had more of you, but we understand getting away, especially for 3 days, is sometimes tough for a lot of people. Casey's going to work on the schedule again. We'll have you go online and sign up for those events as well. We're going to meet with our tournament committee hopefully here in the next 30 days to kind of narrow down some stuff. Most of it will be housekeeping, but we'll kind of talk about the schedule moving forward and seeing what events we need to either sunset or enhance in some way as well. And again, I think this was probably what we talked about last year, was your goal in 2020 was supposed to play more golf. And I don't know if you got a chance to do that. I know a lot of your members and guests at your facilities certainly got a chance to play some golf. So next year, take some time to play some golf with yourself and your family as well, too. Well, when we started this, John, Iowa Golf Council, we were just thinking about tourism stuff, weren't we? Well, obviously this year with COVID, we got to work firsthand with Chad Pitts, with the IGA. I worked with Randy Robinson with the golf course superintendents, and then we added Shane Hart, who's with the Club Managers Association. And obviously this year, having our lobbyist is a great person out there is Jim Carney. For those that don't know him, he's an attorney in Des Moines, but actually won the state am when he was 19 years old, so he loves golf. And anybody at Wakanda can probably attest to that too, that he loves to play a lot of golf. Then we also had Governor Reynolds. I thought she did a nice job, and fortunately she's also a golfer. And so when we were in those rooms talking to the lobbyists and that, she was trying to, as much as she could, to keep golf open. So if you ever want to send a note to a Jim Carney or Governor Reynolds and just say thank you for allowing us to have golf in 2021 or 2020. And again, I'm sorry Illinois didn't get to do that until a little bit later, but please do that. I think that would certainly help us as we go through this too, and especially coming up next year, it may be some of the same thing. So obviously we did COVID-19, we worked on that, and literally Chad, I, Randy, and Shane were on the phone every single day, especially from March until I would say about June 1 when it finally started settling down a little bit. So thank you for everybody for sending us emails or sending us, giving us texts or calls to say, hey, what are we supposed to do here in Iowa? And then eventually once the Illinois pros got there, they got to do the same thing, so we do appreciate that. We are working on doing a corporation with those associations to kind of be able to go in and actually start doing license plates. We were trying to get this done this year and just put it in the back burner. So hopefully in 2021 we'll get that approved and we'll be able to start selling a Iowa Golf Council or Golf Iowa license plate, those monies, and that's kind of why we have to form a corporation, is then that way we can kind of figure out how we should divvy up those funds as we go through the coming years. Again, we started this as tourism, so John Valier was actually named to the Eastern Iowa Tourism Board last year, and then about 60 days ago, he got elected to become the Vice President of the Eastern Iowa Tourism Board. So it's nice because they meet with more than just Eastern Iowa, they meet with the other tourism boards throughout the state of Iowa. So we finally got a voice and a golf voice inside the room, which I think will hopefully help us, John, with. So congratulations, JV, on that. This one we just want to kind of say thank you. So this is usually Tessa's little slide that we put up here the last couple of years to thank each and every one of you golf facilities for helping us out with our junior golf and then obviously our section events. So I would strongly encourage each of you to right now take a chance and just give yourself a hand for helping us find a way to get that done. And she and Jazz and all our interns can probably tell you, I mean, the parents that once we got started June 1, they were so happy and proud of you golf professionals out there that helped us get these events pulled off and in somewhat of a safe manner. Not that it wasn't challenging, different places. Some places we checked with the facilities and maybe we had to wear masks, other ones we didn't. Some places, again, that's just not a judgment, that's just everybody had their own sensitivity level. So we again appreciate everybody working with us this year and being able to do that as much as we could. So we are working on doing our coaching and teaching summit. Right now the date is February 22nd, kind of tentatively right now. Mike Downey is meeting with a gentleman that's kind of more on golf fitness, and so along with Chair J.R. Millar and Steve Watt, we were able to get that kind of pulled together. Hopefully we'll get some information out to you here in the next 30 days too. So again, just like these meetings here, they're all subject to change, and again, we appreciate those people that attended today, and I know we had some people yesterday that were going to show up, but about 20 of them did not. we've kind of had some of that last-minute thing here, too, even with the awards, where we have a few of our award winners as well not attend this year, too. So, one last thing. Kind of before I thank our staff on that, but so this is a brand-new Iowa Golf Passport. I'm sure some of you maybe seen it on social media. This is not us. We are the Iowa Golf Pass or Iowa Golf Cart. So this is a totally different company. They're coming in from Nebraska. I know some of the facilities here in Iowa have actually signed up for that, and then hopefully you have a good relationship with them. But again, that is not us. We're a separate one, and we'll talk about that here just shortly. So if you have any questions about the Golf Passport, I met with them last week via phone, and they've got some different ideas on what we do. And again, remember, one of our deals is we give 15% to the American Cancer Society, so that's another good push. So again, it's also helping to support the Iowa PGA, and again, that's one of our main line items, so that helps us pay for growth of the game initiatives, whether it's drive, chip, and putt, whether it's junior golf, any of those things. So again, we encourage you to continue to do that. Again, I know in that space out there, having been in operations, you got all kinds of cards. At one time, I think I had 5 different cards. It's different strokes for different folks. 2021, Nebraska PGA is working on doing a golf pass as well. They see the value of that. So for those that don't know, Nebraska PGA and Iowa PGA, our border is basically Highway 71, which is basically Okoboji down through Atlantic. And so we're going to be able to share. We actually have some facilities already in our golf pass that are west of Highway 71, so we're going to hopefully help Nebraska get started up a little quicker with some of those facilities, and then hopefully they'll stay with us as well as we go through the coming years. Again, if you have any questions on like the affiliate reports, we did make those payments for those that are waiting for those. Would have been last week, I think, right, Steph, is what we did. So they should be coming here hopefully before Thanksgiving or before December's rush. Oops, I licked my fingers, too bad. Okay, we got Supreme Golf is what Greg touched on just a little bit. That's a company that we partner with on the PGA of America, not us, so it's a national program. But instead of having Golf Now or something like that, they're just going to not do anything as far as inventory. You get to control that. You get to control the price. It's just a flat 15%. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more of that here in the next 30 to 60 days. They also are part owners of what's called 4UP, and that's a point-of-sale system. And so that's something that they're, whether you call it the official PGA of America's tee times or point of sale, hopefully that'll be up and running here. Again, it's not going to be for everybody, but for maybe some of those facilities that have been looking for that. I know Matt's talked about a little bit. Some of you are maybe using TSAP right now. It's going to be something similar to that because it's cloud-based, so you're able to go actually online and do that. So just keep an eye out for that as we're coming up through. Iowa Golf Foundation, we did make some changes there, and this was more just in alignment with our strategic plan. It was kind of hard sometimes to have 2 businesses, and I'd be glad to speak to anybody off the record on this, or not off the record, but offline, if you have some questions. But basically, the 4 officers will become the main part of the board, and then we will appoint 3 other PGA members that are not on the board, too. So if anybody's interested in that, we've got some people that have served out in the past that we're going to ask first before we go to that next step. But we're hoping this just makes us go down the same track. We weren't having any issues. It's just we needed to make sure we get back in alignment with our long-term strategic plan. So with that, I'm going to finish my last part here with just basically thanking our staff. Obviously, we worked hard for a while, and then there was times like everybody else, we felt bad for you folks because we were sitting in our working from home and trying to plan, and we didn't know what to do in April, and you folks, especially in Iowa, were working your tails off and probably doing more rounds and working more hours than you had, and then obviously once we got the Illinois pros online. So I'd like to thank Tess Gowdy again. She did a great job with our junior staff, and we had 4 interns this year, which we went ahead and added 1 intern this year just to help us with staffing, and we're kind of glad we did because we had a lot of touch points. So let's thank Tess and her crew there. And then obviously our man, the big guy over here, Casey, did a great job with our section tournaments. So, in dealing with all of our golf professionals and the facilities, again, we want to thank Casey for his hard work and continued work too, Casey. So thanks. And then, unfortunately, we end up losing staff just like everybody else does. Fortunately, they've gone on to bigger and better things. But Kevin Quinn was, when he first when we first hired him, he said he wanted to be in Illinois PGA or the PGA of America. So for those that didn't know, he left, a little over a year ago and as the communications coordinator for the Illinois PGA. And then Brady Sharkey ended up leaving us in September to go back to Indiana. And he's actually now with the Indiana PGA or their golf house and working in tournaments and then mostly in handicapping. So sometimes it's good to have our young staff move on to bigger and better things. We hate to lose them because we got to train a new staff member, but hey, we're golf professionals. That's what we do, I think, for the most part. So we added 3 new members this year. First one we added here is Mike Downing, Director of Player and Membership Development. We started this job. That was part of what we did before COVID is we wanted him to start outreaching and knocking down that door and helping you folks out with best practices or understanding some of the stuff that maybe Jason Bose deals with on the employment end. And he's just starting to travel now finally, so I don't know if he met with 25, 30 golf pros probably. Yeah, so again, look for him sometime this year, and he's just going to try to share with you and help you out. He's not telling you what to do. He's just, here's some other ideas that maybe you hadn't thought of that he would like to include on that. So again, Mike, welcome, and again, you've been green grass too, so you know exactly what they're going through right now too. We had a Jazz Tolda. He was a intern at the Wisconsin section for 3 years and Wisconsin Badger, so don't hold that against him. It's actually the first day. I don't think you have anything on red, do you? Unless you got red socks on. But so Jazz came with us and as our junior golf coordinator did a real nice job. He fit in real well and helped lead our interns with tests at the junior golf age. And then our last one is I actually hired my daughter. I'd worked with her before, and so we hired her in January. So thank you. Let's give them all a hand.
Thank you very much. I'm going to have to move this back up, I think, a little bit. The running joke. I haven't even gotten to you yet, so just... Anyway, thank you, Greg Mason and staff. We are worthless without you. So Greg, Tess, Mike, Casey, Jazz, Stephanie, 2020 was quite the year, so thanks for keeping us on track. It's not over yet, so keep us on that track. 2021 might not be all that different, so we're going to lean on you big time, like we always do, so thank you. My report is just going to be pretty brief, and you just heard about half of it. So the other half is I just want to thank all the candidates that are running for the board today. That's a neat thing. So to have this many people sign up and want to run, that's really great. That's awesome. So thank you for that. Having said that, I'd like to call up past President John Valier to come administer our election. So good luck to all the candidates. And again, thanks for running. Mr. Valier, the microphone is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's great to be back. Thanks for having me back to fill in this important position. As he said, it's great to have 7 candidates running for our 3 positions, so serving 2-year terms. I'll go off our list of candidates first, and I'll ask them to come forward to give a talk for the ones that are here. First, our 7 candidates: Terry Anderson, Gene Beers Jr., Chris Black, Luke Dona, Kevin Dorrington, Todd Larson, and Rocky Sposata. Hope I got that right. Sorry, Rocky. First coming up will be Terry Anderson.
Good morning. I'm Terry Anderson, head pro at the Elks Club in Iowa City, Iowa. For 30 years I've been in this room, and I've seen candidates for the board come up and say how they want to run for the board to give back to the game of the golf. And I essentially got in the golf business 30 years ago and have given back to it ever since. Financially, I have given to the Swing with the Kids, Golf in the Schools program. I am a loyal donor to the Iowa PGA Foundation, supporting the Charlie Burkhart Foundation. Time-wise, I've been a loyal volunteer with Coach Bermel up at our PGA Junior Academy. And since 2007, I've been a loyal donor of my time to the GIVE program. From a facility standpoint, I've given my facility and hosted many section events, including section championships, PGA juniors, men's and women's state amateurs, state high school tournaments, USGA qualifiers. It's been wonderful. I'm not running to be a member of this board to give back to the game of the golf. I'm running to give back to our great Iowa PGA section. I've never done that before. I am a doer, and I would appreciate your vote.
Thank you, Terry. Next up will be Gene Beers Jr., and I believe Kevin Dorrington is going to speak for him.
Gene is about my height, by the way. For those of you that don't know, Gene's been fighting that COVID battle and is doing better. And Gene, I'm sure you're out there listening. We're all pleased that you're doing better, and I'm honored to be able to speak for you. To begin with, it says, "Dear members, please vote for Kevin Dorrington." No, Gene, sorry about that. But Gene, and on a serious level, he would like to stay on the board. He was co-chairman of a couple of the committees, the Associates Committee and also the section programs, and he feels he still has a lot more to go. And I know that this part wasn't written by Gene, but I'm going to throw it in there anyway. If you don't know him, this guy might be as passionate as it gets about the success of this industry and this section and the PGA. In all honesty, he really, really cares, and he would appreciate your vote. Thanks.
Thank you, Kevin. Next up will be Chris Black.
Hi, everyone. I don't have a political commercial that I want to give you. I think we're all kind of burnt out on that, but it's my honor to be able to serve you and the section. I've done it in the past. I've been on the board, and right at that time in my life, it wasn't very good timing for me and my business. I own and operate my own places, and now I'm to a point where I feel like I can give back a little bit better. So I think I would enjoy being a part of the board and serving you all, and that's what the board is here to do, is to serve you as well as this office. So if you feel like it's right in your heart, go ahead and vote for me. If not, there's some other really great guys. I would have never put my name in the hat if I'd have known there was 6 other good people like that. So we've had a tough time getting other people to get up here, and I thought, well, I'll just do it. And then when I saw guys like Luke and Todd up there, I'm like, I don't need to do that. So if you don't vote for me, it's fine. But anyway, thank you guys.
Thank you, Chris. Next up is Luke Dona.
Good morning, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Luke Dona. I'm the Director of Instruction at Cedar Rapids Country Club. I've been there for 4 years now, which is also the same amount of time that I've been in the PGA of America. I attended Campbell University with the goal of becoming a Director of Instruction one day at a private facility, and I was able to accomplish that in my 4.5 years that I was there. And so that led me to Cedar Rapids, and I'm originally from upstate New York. So I'm an Iowa transplant, but my wife and I have really come to love this state, and I've loved being a part of the Iowa PGA. It would be an honor to get your vote and be able to serve on the board. I think I bring a unique perspective as someone who has gone through the PGM program and has really gotten all out of golf that I could have possibly asked at this point in my career. It's been fantastic. I love this state. I love this program, and I'd be honored to get your vote. Thanks.
Luke, thank you very much. And next on the board, Kevin Dorrington, back up.
Good morning. For those that do not know who I am, my name is Kevin Dorrington. I've been a member of this section and of the PGA since 1984. Hold on now, I'm not really that old. I got my card when I was 15, so. When I decided to run, by the way, I thought maybe I should get some TV commercials going in the major markets of the Iowa section, but there was nothing open. It seems there was some secondary election going on the last couple of weeks that I couldn't get any time. But in all seriousness, first of all, great to have 7 people running. If you haven't done it, do yourself a favor. If you're passionate about this industry and the section, the game of golf, the PGA, get on the board. You'll enjoy it very much. And that's kind of why I'm looking to go for a second term. I enjoyed it a lot. I was co-chairman of the tournament committee, sections program committee, and as many of you might have saw in my email out to the section, I have worn a few hats in this business. I was an apprentice back then, now an associate. I was basically a head pro, a marketing director, a director of golf, a sales rep, a sales manager, a director of sales, and I'm sure some other things I forgot about. But having done all those positions, I've learned and seen a lot, and I think that really helps me to give some good feedback in the discussions in the board meetings and also to help with the decisions that are made. So I would really appreciate your vote, and thank you.
Kevin, thank you very much. Next up is Todd Larson, and I've got a letter to read from Todd. Dear Iowa PGA Section professionals, my name is Todd Larson, head golf professional at Cedar Rapids Country Club. I'm extremely excited to be back in my home state and look forward to getting to know all of you over the coming years. It'll be a true honor to serve as a member of the Iowa PGA Board of Directors. As a trusted board member, I will represent all my fellow Iowa Section professionals and work diligently to enhance your playing, educational, and overall career opportunities within the section. Over the course of my career, I have played collegiately at the University of Iowa, professionally throughout the country, worked as an assistant professional in 3 uniquely different PGA sections, Dixie, Middle Atlantic, and Metropolitan sections. I am currently finishing my first year as head golf professional at Cedar Rapids Country Club. My career experiences and progression have given me the knowledge and confidence to help the Iowa PGA section and its members progress forward and reach their goals. It would be a privilege to represent my fellow PGA professionals as a member of the Iowa PGA Board of Directors. Thank you all for your consideration. Your vote will be greatly appreciated. Sincerely, Todd Larson, PGA, head professional, Cedar Rapids Country Club. And then next up will be Rocky Sposata. Sorry, Rocky.
Good morning, everyone. Rocky Sposata, head professional, Waveland Golf Course in Des Moines. I'd like to thank you for your consideration as a candidate for the board. In my 27 years in the golf business, the success I've experienced is a credit to the PGA professionals I've worked with and worked for. Their commitment to the game and the business of golf is what inspired me to become a PGA professional. I'm currently the Chief Operating Officer of C Corporation and oversee the 3 City of Des Moines golf courses, along with being a partner in CS Corporation that operates the City of Altoona Golf Course. This would not have been possible without the education I received from the PGA program. I believe one of the biggest barriers we are facing is making it possible for young men and women to pursue a career in our industry, and it's critical to give them the resources to be successful. As we begin to close our courses for the season, an obstacle that I continuously see is trying to retain a good team. For this reason, I would be honored to be a part of the board to help find solutions to the issues that impact our businesses. If I have the privilege of serving, I will support Greg and his team and their continued hard work while being an advocate for new ideas from all the members. Lastly, I will work hard for our organization while dedicating the necessary time to ensure our section's continued success. Once again, thank you for your consideration, and I'd appreciate your support.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Wonderful speeches from there. So at this time, we will take your ballots. We will vote for 3. Oh, my apologies. Would there be any nominations from the floor? Open it up to any nominations from the floor. Seeing none, I will close the nominations, and we will vote for 3 for the board to serve a 2-year term. It is in it.
It says 4, it should be 3.
Should be just 3. So
Voting for 3.
3. If anybody not have a ballot?
In here that have done absentee votes before, I've already sent them in. Brian's one of them, and Chris, yeah, just make sure you don't vote. We got Steve and Tess. Casey will help out as well. Again, just vote for 3.
And the winners will be the top 3 vote getters turned in, so that will be the winners. The top 3, there's no 50% that is required. And Greg has informed me we did have 50 absentee ballots turned in, so we will get those counted today. Just while we got some downtime here as we count them, Greg, I'd like to welcome you here. I'm glad we got love Dave Schneider, but he is so long-winded, so it's nice to have you shorten up the District 8 speeches. That was wonderful. And I think he's a much faster player than Dave, too. I don't know that anybody's ever played through Greg.
Just can't get enough of this microphone. Just wanted, while we're counting ballots and you have a little bit of time to kill, everything that I'm going to mention here has been touched on already, but that PGA support link hotline, it's okay to call that number. This has been one heck of a year for a lot of people, so call that number. If you're not familiar with that, find somebody who is, or talk to one of the section staff here, but that can just be a good number when it's dark and cold outside, so keep that in the back of your mind. Consider supporting our section events, junior tour, host a Monday event if you can. It's a really good thing to have at your facility. So if you have the opportunity to help our junior tour, sign up to host or talk to Tess about hosting a junior tour event. She's got a crazy busy schedule, but always looking for new places to expand that audience. Also, just the disaster release fund and all that stuff when we pay our dues. Anything that you can do to support those programs is needed.
Okay, question again, like they brought up, again, thank you, that I was, like I said, elected to the Eastern Iowa Tourism Board. Currently, we are in the process of forming, there's Eastern Iowa, Central Iowa, and Western Iowa that all has a tourism board from there, and we are currently in the process of trying to come into one. It's going to be called ITIP, which is Iowa Tourism Individual Professionals, to come together to be one voice to the state of Iowa. And so I'm probably at a 1-year term of this that will be forming into one. And kind of the feeling of that is that we're getting all of the sports, the lodging associations, the group travels, all to come in and become one voice. The Iowa Economic Development, people get bombarded from everywhere. We are one group, one voice to do it, but we come at them from all different sectors, so to speak. The beer tour, the wineries and all that. So we're trying to come into one. So golf, I think, is going to play a very big important part of that. So that's where I was kind of fortunate to be on the executive board of the Eastern Iowa Tourism, which puts me on the ITIP board right now. So that's why I had to step away for about 45 minutes. We were on our monthly board meeting Zoom call there. So I got on that one for a little bit just to kind of see in the very infancy stages of forming this, so it should be kind of exciting to get on the ground floor of this brand new organization at a state level. And I can assure you that I will be fighting for golf, putting golf on the map. I'm still, again, trying to get that kind of like the Ragbri thing, to travel across to Iowa, play against Iowa, that Jeff Smith had the great idea to do it, so I'm trying to steal that from you, Jeff, and make that happen, but I think it would be a fun thing and good for the state of golf in Iowa, so. Anyway, we've got the election results back, so it's my honor to announce the winners. Terry Anderson, Kevin Dorrington, and Rocky Sposata. Congratulations, gentlemen. So if I could have you three gentlemen please come up, we'll go through the oath of office. All right, gentlemen, I will not do this, but I'll have you recite the oath of office that is up on the screen. So I. All right, thank you, gentlemen, and once again, congratulations. All right, thanks for having me back one more time, Mr. President.
Thank you, John Valier, and thank you for your work on that tourism board as well. So look forward to hearing more about that in the future. Congratulations to our three board members, some existing, some new. Thanks to all of our previous board members or board members that will be leaving us. Thanks for all of your work that you did the last couple of years. So again, thanks everyone for running. At this point, we'll move on to new business. Does anybody have any new business they would like to discuss? Okay, now on to old business. Does anyone have anything for old business? Easy enough. Okay. I would now like to move to open forum. Please stand if you would like to speak, and please state your name and facility before speaking. There are no minutes being taken at this time. A staff member will bring a microphone to you. Please hold your comments to 1 or 2 minutes or less. So, open forum, if anybody has anything to say or mention. Jeff Smith.
Thank Matt for his leadership this year. He's kept a lot of stuff to himself, but he's went through back surgery this year, and successfully, and his mom and dad are going through COVID right now. And, but I want to thank you, Matt, for your leadership for the section early on. You let us go apply for PPP money, which we did, and I don't know if we have to pay it back yet or not, but I don't think, I hope not. Thanks, Matt, to your leadership to the section. And I did get on a Zoom call this year for the first time, and my wife's been on several since, so I'll be getting on more of those. But, thank you, Matt, for your leadership to our section.
Thank you very much. Nice to say. I did. I had a back surgery that was kind of debilitating, and I came out of that with flying colors. I had tons of texts and phone calls from a lot of people, and I'll tell you find out who your friends are really quick when your phone just blows up. So it's really nice. Take COVID serious. Like Jeff had mentioned, my dad's fighting for his life at Mercy Medical Center right now, so wash your hands, wear a mask. It's the real deal. And it's not to keep yourself safe, it's to keep the rest of us safe. People that are a lot older than us. Wear a mask. Thanks, everybody. Any other open forum comments? All right. Looks like we're back on the record. At this time, I would like to make a motion to adjourn the 2020 fall membership meeting. Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye. Thank you very much. Have a great winter, or whatever it's going to do out there.